All right, this is a must-win. This is going to be title number 50. I can't lose 50 or 100 or God forbid 1,000 if I ever get there. So that's pretty much it. I leave Friday for the yeah, I've played this guy before, for the Rocky Mountain Chess Challenge. How do I do against this guy? 2, 2, and 1. All right. This is going to be real similar to like the Caro Kann exchange, where they're basically into it. There's some lines where um, you just have to trust me. I'll go through it later, but there's some Caro Kann lines that are almost exactly like this. Um, I kind of give him a square there, which is bad, obviously. I probably could have waited on that. But my idea is to play knight f6 and knight e4. Crap, I gave him the square too soon. I have to trade off that knight. That's one difficulty of chess is, there's certain ideas that will be helpful to certain openings or certain, lines that you play. But then sometimes when, positions change and um, that line, that particular subline, I guess you could say, didn't really call for the move that I played, um, but I played it anyway. Hmm. All right. I'm trying to prevent d5. I really, even though his bishop has the outpost now, if we can get the heavies off the board, I think my bishop is better because all my pawns are on light squares right now. Granted, without opening up the position, you can't really exchange the heavy pieces. So it's kind of uh, an overly optimistic statement, maybe. But so he can't take on c5 because his bishop would hang. Now, of course, after I say that, I put all my pawns on light pawn. After I make the comment about putting my pawns on light squares, I managed to put them all on dark squares. But I think I needed to do that to avoid material loss. So now I'm going to play b3, get him back on light squares, and gain space with tempo. You know, if we ever get into an endgame, I'm going to have all sorts of ideas, even like bishop a3, where I can sack the bishop so that he has to advance, um, so that I can advance the b3 pawn. But once again, I need to get the heavies off the board. So, I mean, this bishop and pawn endgame would be really pretty much, should be won for me if I, not won, I hate that term, but, you know, winning. Um, hmm. Is this too optimistic? Just maybe. Maybe it is. Yeah, he can just retreat the rook. Hmm. Yeah, and I'm done. All right, well, that was actually a interesting game there. I'll have to look it over. I'll try to keep myself clocked to, I mean, see, it's basically about even there. Uh, but that passer was just too much. Um, but you can see some of the ideas I had if I didn't have the heavies on the board. But they were just too powerful, especially with that D passer. I needed to blockade it. I think I need to, right here, I think I need to just, well, it says queen takes a4. I felt like maybe at some point I needed to bail and just, hmm, I could spend hours on this, but clearly I left the a pawn hanging forever, but that partially shows how irrelevant it is. Perhaps I needed to immediately play, you know, queen takes, and then after he pushes queen back to blockade, blockade on the light squares, and then just start pushing my a pawn. It was probably a more appropriate plan, but it was a good game. All right, have a good one.